Hopefully we have all experienced the Title Update 2 content for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and now we're looking forward to Title Update 3. Currently, there hasn't been much to know about with what exactly will be in Title Update 3, but the developers on Twitter have given us some small glimpses into some of the changes we can expect. So, in today's video, we wanted to wrap up a bunch of the news tidbits for you so you can get caught up on everything that's going on in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. We know from the roadmap that the support for Sunbreak will continue into early next year with more title updates, but we want to know from you guys in the comments, would you rather Capcom continue to support Sunbreak or divert some of their effort into whatever the next Monster Hunter game coming out will be? Tell us down below. Also, if you want to support these kind of videos so you can see more of them, click like down below because it really does help, and subscribe and click the bell so you're up to date on all things Monster Hunter. The very first bit of news that we have is the release for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and the base game continue to be huge releases, as Capcom have announced that Sunbreak has reached over 4.4 million sales and the base game has sold over 11.2 million copies. It's so crazy and cool to think that this once niche franchise is now Capcom's biggest franchise when things like Street Fighter and Devil May Cry are also hugely popular. It's safe to say that Monster Hunter is here to stay now, and maybe they will attempt to expand it into other genres like they started with Monster Hunter Stories 2. I know that a burning question a lot of you will be thinking about is, how did the sales compare to Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter World Iceborne? Well, Monster Hunter World has sold 18.5 million compared to Base Rise's 11.2 million, and Iceborne sold 9.7 million compared to Sunbreak. So of course the Monster Hunter World numbers are huge, but it is worth pointing out that Monster Hunter World had a much longer time on the market and was released on more platforms. But in general, Monster Hunter is a super successful franchise for Capcom, with Monster Hunter World taking the #1 spot on the list of most sold copies for a Capcom game ever. But what about Title Update 3? We know it will be coming out in the tail end of November and will be bringing new monsters for us to hunt, and we don't currently have a date for it, but we do have a few insights about some quality of life changes coming in Title Update 3, so let's run through them. During follower quests, you now have much more control over your followers' behavior, as you'll be able to set restrictions on what they can do. Here's what the post from Suzuki, the Sunbreak director, has to say. You'll be able to adjust various settings for your follower, such as whether or not they perform wyvern riding when in the same or other areas as you, whether they set traps, and more. Followers are a really cool addition in Sunbreak, and I hope that they keep them going forwards, so it's really cool to see us getting more control and some extra settings over exactly what they can do and can't do in a hunt. Next up, one for the Gunlance mains. This is something that we've been hoping for quite a while. The Gunlance will be getting a shelling boost via Curios Crafting in Title Update 3. Here's what the Sunbreak director has to say about this. As part of free Title Update 3, we'll be adding the ability to boost the shelling level for shelling level 6 or level 7 Gunlances in Curio Crafting. The maximum is level 8. We hope this helps widen the variety of weapon selections for players. We are so happy that the Gunlance bros are getting some much needed love. This is such a huge upgrade for Gunlances in general and will make the weapon variety and selection for your mix sets so much more diverse. We know that Rurikan and Coslayer were championing for these changes, so it's great to see their feedback listened to, and I hope they're going to enjoy this when it comes out. And we have another awesome thing being added into Title Update 3, which comes from Suzuki, the Sunbreak director, once again. Here's what he says. Hey everyone, as part of free update Title 3, we are adding a feature that will give you upgrade materials back in exchange for leftover upgrade points you have after upgrading your armor through Curio Crafting in the smithy. So this is actually a really cool quality of life thing to add in. Essentially, if you have the better amber essences, you won't be wasting them when you go to upgrade an armor piece that only requires a certain amount of amber lower than the item you used. So this is just another great little thing being added in that essentially gives you back any wasted essence that you use. Personally speaking, I love a change like this because it respects your time as a player when you're going out farming those amber essences, so you're not wasting them on upgrading certain pieces of armor, so I really do like to see this change. Also, if you don't know, the developers are currently doing developer challenges on Twitter where they take on hunts with weapons that they've helped design. This latest challenge is the new event quest with the person that made the reverse blast dash. It's interesting seeing the intended playstyle for these weapons in action, so we think this is actually a pretty cool thing and we'd love to see them doing more of these challenges. So if you enjoy these kind of videos, definitely click like down below to show support, and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on what we have planned for you guys next when it comes to Monster Hunter. The two videos on screen now we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to, but if you did enjoy this, you're probably going to enjoy these too. So why not give them a click and then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.